The crackling sound of damaged thrusters filled the cockpit, and Captain Rex Malloy's voice boomed through the ship's comms. "All right, folks, brace yourselves. We're coming in hotter than a cheap date on Venus." Zeke clutched the armrests of his seat, wide-eyed. "Captain, maybe less jokes and more focus on not killing us?" "Relax, Zeke. I've got this." Rex shot back with a grin that radiated misplaced confidence. The ship groaned as it hurtled through the atmosphere of a lush, uncharted planet. Trees the size of skyscrapers blurred past the windows before the ship slammed into the ground with a thunderous crash. Silence hung in the air as the dust settled. Dr. Lena Voss unstrapped herself, already exasperated. "Congratulations, Rex. Another textbook landing." "Textbook, if the textbook is how to crash and burn." Rex smirked as he stood. "Hey, we're alive, aren't we? That's a win in my book." Zeke peered out of a nearby viewport, his hands trembling. Does anyone else see those massive statues out there? They look human." The crew stepped outside cautiously, finding themselves surrounded by towering, intricately carved figures of beautiful women. The statues loomed like silent guardians over a landscape of shimmering flora. Navi, the ship's AI, activated her holographic avatar, a small glowing orb that bobbed around like a curious firefly. "Captain, based on preliminary scans, these statues are ancient. They appear to depict fertility goddesses. Or maybe just models from a really tall magazine cover." "Fertility goddesses, huh?" Rex said, his grin widening. "Well, ladies, it looks like they're big fans of the human form." "Keep it professional, Rex," Lena snapped. The ground suddenly trembled. A low hum reverberated through the air as three towering figures emerged from the dense jungle. They were alive, not statues, and stunningly beautiful. Their skin shimmered faintly, their movements graceful despite their massive size. The tallest of them stepped forward. Her voice resonated like a melodic thunderclap. "Humans! We are the Sizian Triad, Kylera, Zinra, and Velvessa. You are here to fulfill the prophecy." Rex blinked. "Prophecy? I think you've got the wrong crew. We're just here because, well, let's call it a detour." The second Sizian, Zinra, crossed her arms, her expression stern. "Do not play games with us. The prophecy is clear. You must give size, kid, or die here." Zeke choked on his own breath. "Wait. What?" Navi's orb flickered as she processed the statement. "Translation error detected. Clarifying. Nope, still hilarious." Rex held up his hands in mock surrender. "Whoa, hold on. Let's not jump to conclusions. I mean, if this is some kind of galactic speed dating, we're flattered, but—" Kylera stepped closer, her towering figure casting a shadow over the crew. "We mean no offense. Our civilization is dying. Without your assistance, we cannot continue. We seek your genetic material to save our people." "Genetic material?" Lena said, raising an eyebrow. "And by material, I assume you mean—" "Precisely," Velvessa interjected, her voice softer but no less commanding. "The Sizian spark requires human DNA to ignite. It is the only way we can reproduce and ensure our species' survival." Rex scratched his chin, clearly enjoying himself. "So, let me get this straight. You want us to—" Lena smacked his arm. "Don't. Just don't." Before anyone could respond further, Zinra held up a massive hand. "Enough discussion. The prophecy also states that you must prove your worthiness through the trials of compatibility." "Oh, great," Zeke muttered. Because crash landing wasn't enough of a trial. The Sizians gestured for the humans to follow them deeper into the jungle. As they walked, Rex leaned toward Lena, whispering, "This is starting to sound like one of those weird holovids. You know, the ones with questionable titles?" "Funny," Lena replied dryly. "Because this feels like one of those career-ending decisions." Navi piped up, her tone chipper. "On the bright side, Captain, this could be a groundbreaking moment in interspecies diplomacy. Or, you know, just really awkward family history." The group reached a vast clearing where an arena-like structure stood, glowing with ancient energy. Kylera turned to face them, her expression calm but firm. The first trial begins now. Prepare yourselves, humans. Your strength, intellect, and humor will be tested. Humor? Rex said, perking up. Finally, something I can win at. Velvessa smiled, a glint of mischief in her eyes. We shall see, little human. We shall see. The crew stood in the arena, dwarfed by the towering figures of the Sizian triad. Rex scanned the glowing structure, his hands on his hips. So, what's first? Arm wrestling? Talent show? Or are we just skipping to the genetic material part? Lena groaned. Rex, if you keep talking, I'm going to let them drop you into whatever pit they have planned. Kylera raised a hand, silencing the chatter. The first trial is one of strength. Before you lies the feathered beast. Subdue it without harming it, and you may proceed. A deafening screech erupted from a cage as the ground shook. The doors creaked open, and a massive, colorful creature emerged. It looked like a cross between a peacock and a rhino, with feathers so vibrant they seemed to pulse with light. Rex grinned. Subdue it? Easy. I'll charm it with my irresistible wit. The creature roared, flapping its enormous wings and kicking up a whirlwind of dust. Rex immediately dove behind a rock. On second thought, maybe someone else should go first. Zeke hesitated, clutching his toolkit. I might have an idea. If I can modify the ship's frequency emitter to mimic calming sounds, it could. Too late! Rex shouted, charging forward. He lunged at the beast, grabbing onto its feathered neck. The creature immediately shook him off like a rag doll, sending him sprawling. Lena folded her arms. Great plan, Captain! What's next, playing dead? Rex staggered to his feet. I was distracting it. Someone do the smart part now! Zeke fumbled with his tools, sweat dripping from his brow. The creature advanced, its beady eyes locked on him. Finally, he managed to recalibrate the emitter. With a shaky breath, he activated it. A soft, soothing hum filled the air. The creature froze, its aggression melting into calm curiosity. It tilted its head, then sat down like an oversized puppy. The Sizians exchanged impressed glances. Zinra nodded approvingly. This one shows promise. Intelligence is a valued trait. Rex dusted himself off, muttering. Yeah? Let's not forget who softened it up first. Velvessa chuckled, leaning toward Zeke. You are full of surprises, little one. Zeke blushed furiously, stammering something unintelligible. Kylera gestured toward the next chamber. You have passed the first trial. Now, prepare for the trial of intellect. The crew entered a circular room with glowing symbols etched into the walls. In the center floated a holographic puzzle, its pieces shifting and rearranging themselves into increasingly complex configurations. This, Kylera explained, is the puzzle of desire. To solve it, you must uncover its true form. Only those with clarity of purpose and mind can succeed. Rex stepped forward, cracking his knuckles. Clarity of purpose? That's me in a nutshell. Watch and learn. He grabbed at the holographic pieces, fumbling as they shifted under his touch. After several failed attempts, the puzzle emitted an annoyed buzz. Okay, maybe it's rigged, Rex grumbled. Zeke examined the puzzle, his analytical mind kicking into gear. It's not about brute force, he murmured. It's about finding the balance between the shapes. As Zeke worked, Navi couldn't resist chiming in. Careful, Zeke. Those curves look tricky. Wouldn't want you to mishandle them. Not helping. Zeke snapped, his face red. Lena joined in, her sharp eyes scanning the patterns. It's more than just balance. Look at the colors. They're aligning with the symbols on the walls. It's a logic sequence. Together, Zeke and Lena adjusted the pieces, aligning them with precision. The puzzle flashed brightly, emitting a harmonious chime as it revealed a hidden map. Velvessa smiled, her voice warm. You are proving yourselves worthy indeed. Few have reached this stage. Rex smirked. What can I say? We're full of surprises. Kylera, however, remained stern. Do not grow overconfident. The final trial will test the essence of your being. Prepare yourselves. Before the crew could respond, the floor beneath them shifted, transporting them to another chamber. The walls glowed faintly, and an ethereal voice echoed around them. To pass, you must demonstrate the one trait that defines true compatibility: humor. Rex lit up. Finally! My time to shine! The holograms of the Sizian triad appeared, their expressions expectant. Rex stepped forward, clearing his throat dramatically. All right, ladies. What do you call a spaceship full of bad jokes? A laughing stock. The holograms remained stone-faced. Rex faltered but pressed on. Tough crowd. Okay, how about this? Why did the astronaut break up with his girlfriend? Because she needed space. Zinra's hologram tilted her head. What is the purpose of these statements? They're jokes, Rex exclaimed. You know, to make you laugh? Velvesa's hologram raised an eyebrow. Perhaps humor is not your strongest trait, Captain. Lena rolled her eyes and nudged Zeke. Your turn, genius. Save us. Zeke hesitated, then nervously recounted a story about accidentally short-circuiting his dorm room while trying to build a robot. His self-deprecating humor and awkward delivery made the Sizian holograms chuckle softly. The real Velvesa clapped, her laughter echoing. A clever mind with a sense of humility. Most impressive. As the trial concluded, the Sizians regarded the crew with newfound respect. Kylera stepped forward. You have passed the trials. Your worthiness is undeniable. Rex grinned, throwing an arm around Zeke. See? We're naturals. Now, about that genetic material thing. Lena slapped his hand away. Don't push your luck, Rex. Velvesa leaned down, her gaze locking with Zeke's. You, especially, have proven exceptional. The Sizian spark awaits your touch. Zeke gulped. Great? Navi chimed in, her tone gleeful. Oh, this is going to be so awkward. The crew stood in an expansive chamber bathed in a soft, otherworldly glow. The atmosphere was heavy with anticipation, and Zeke felt all eyes on him. Velvesa stepped forward, her towering form exuding grace and power, as she extended a glowing orb toward him. This is the Sizian spark, she explained. It represents the lifeblood of our species. With your assistance, it will ignite, bringing new life to our world. Zeke's hands trembled as he took the orb. It pulsed with warmth, a curious hum vibrating through his fingers. Just to clarify, what exactly am I supposed to do with this? Kylera knelt, her immense size making the motion seem impossibly delicate. You must focus your intent. The spark is a reflection of will and purpose. Only one with a pure heart and clear mind can unlock its potential. Rex clapped Zeke on the shoulder, nearly making him drop the orb. No pressure, buddy. Just save an entire species. Easy stuff. Thanks, Rex, Zeke muttered, his face pale. The orb began to glow brighter as Zeke concentrated, but it flickered erratically, as if unsure of his resolve. Lena watched closely, her brow furrowed. Zeke, stop overthinking it. Just focus on what you're good at. You're the smartest one here, even if Rex won't admit it. Hey! Rex protested. I admit it. Sometimes. Zeke took a deep breath, trying to calm the storm of thoughts in his mind. But the orb dimmed further, and Velvesa's expression turned somber. Perhaps he is not the one, Zinra said bluntly, her arms crossed. Rex frowned. Whoa, let's not give up on him just yet. Zeke's got this. Right, pal? Navi's voice piped up, her tone uncharacteristically encouraging. Zeke, remember what worked in the trial. You didn't succeed by trying to be someone else. You won by being yourself, awkward, brilliant, and ridiculously endearing. Zeke glanced at the orb, then at the towering Sizians, who seemed so impossibly larger than life. What if I'm not enough? He whispered. Velvesa leaned closer, her gentle voice resonating. You are more than enough. The spark does not seek perfection, it seeks authenticity. Show us your true self. Zeke closed his eyes, letting the weight of expectations fall away. He thought about his passions, his failures, his quirks. He thought about the crew who believed in him, the laughter they'd shared, and the strange bond he felt with these alien giants. The orb began to shine steadily, its light growing warmer and more vibrant. The hum transformed into a harmonious melody, filling the chamber with an uplifting resonance. Kylera's eyes widened. It is happening. He is attuned to the spark. Zeke opened his eyes, watching in awe as the orb released a cascade of shimmering energy. It flowed through the air like golden mist, enveloping the PSSIES. Their forms glowed brighter, and their expressions softened with gratitude. Velvessa placed a hand over her heart. You have done it, Zeke. You have given us hope. The chamber seemed to breathe with newfound life as the energy settled. Zeke stumbled back, exhausted but exhilarated. So that's it. I didn't accidentally destroy anything? You did the opposite, Velvessa said, her voice filled with warmth. You have ensured our future. Rex whooped, throwing an arm around Zeke. I knew you had it in you. You're the MVP, man. Lena smirked. Don't let it go to your head, Zeke. Zinra stepped forward, her stern demeanor softening for the first time. You have proven humanity's worthiness. You are welcome on Sizia as allies. Navi's orb flickered. Does that include access to your libraries? Because I've been dying to know how you power this place without wires. Velvessa chuckled. Yes, even you, little AI, are welcome to share in our knowledge. The crew prepared to leave, the mood lighter than it had been since their crash. Rex couldn't resist a parting quip. So, does this make us honorary PSSIES? Or do we get, like, a cool title? Galactic Saviors? Spark Whisperers? Lena rolled her eyes. How about humans who barely survived without making fools of themselves? As they boarded their repaired ship, Zeke paused, looking back at the PSSIES. Thank you. For believing in me, even when I didn't. Velvessa smiled, her voice echoing in his mind as the ship's doors closed. And thank you, Zeke, for reminding us of what humanity can offer. As the ship lifted off, Rex leaned back in his seat, grinning. So, what's next? A planet full of sentient bikinis? Because I feel like we're on a roll here. Navi chimed in with a laugh. Let's just aim for a smooth landing this time, Captain. Zeke, exhausted but content, allowed himself a small smile. For once, he felt like he belonged. The ship soared away from Sizia, its thrusters humming steadily as the crew settled into an uneasy calm. Rex lounged in the captain's chair, spinning it idly. So, let's recap. We survived giant women, crazy trials, and saved a species. I'd say we're killing it in the intergalactic diplomacy game. Lena arched an eyebrow. Killing it? More like barely scraping by. You almost got us squashed twice. Details, Rex said with a dismissive wave. The important thing is we made history. We're legends now. Zeke sat quietly at the console, still processing the weight of what had just happened. The glowing orb's warmth seemed to linger in his hands, a reminder of the trust placed in him. Navi's voice broke his thoughts. Zeke, you okay? You've been awfully quiet for someone who just became a hero. He looked up, startled. I'm fine. Just thinking about them. The PSSIES. They were so advanced, so powerful, and yet they needed us. It's kind of humbling, isn't it? Lena leaned against the console, her expression softening. That's the thing about being human. We're flawed, awkward, and sometimes downright ridiculous, but we have a knack for showing up when it counts. Rex smirked. And making things awkward. Can't forget that part. Before anyone could respond, the ship jolted violently. Alarms blared, and the lights flickered. Rex shot up, gripping the console. What the hell was that? Zeke's fingers flew across the controls. We're caught in some kind of gravitational anomaly. It's pulling us off course. The ship's AI interface flickered, Navi's usually snarky voice tinged with urgency. I hate to interrupt, but we're being dragged into an uncharted sector. Brace for impact. The crew scrambled as the ship shook, its hull groaning under the strain. A brilliant flash of light engulfed them, and then everything went still. When the haze cleared, they found themselves in orbit around a planet that shimmered like a jewel. Its surface was a kaleidoscope of colors, with crystalline formations jutting skyward. "Where are we?" Rex asked, his voice tinged with awe. Navi scanned the planet. "No records in the database. But the energy readings are off the charts. Whatever this place is, it's not on any known star maps." Lena frowned. "Great. First Sizia, now this. What's the over-under on us finding another giant species with impossible demands?" As if on cue, a voice echoed through the ship's comm system. It was melodic and hauntingly beautiful. "Travelers, you have entered the domain of the Christ Star Sovereigns. State your purpose, or face judgment." Rex groaned. "Seriously? Can we get through one trip without someone threatening us?" Zeke stepped forward, his voice steady despite the tension. "We didn't mean to intrude. Our ship was pulled here by an anomaly. We're just trying to find our way back." The voice responded, its tone curious. "Your vessel carries an unusual energy signature. One that resonates with the spark." Zeke's heart skipped a beat. "The Sizian spark? How do you know about that?" There was a pause, then a crystalline figure materialized on the bridge. It was humanoid but composed entirely of shimmering facets, its form constantly shifting. "The spark is ancient," the figure said. "It is a remnant of our creation, scattered across the cosmos. Your activation of it has awakened dormant forces." Rex crossed his arms. "Okay, so what does that mean for us? Because we're kind of in the middle of trying not to die every other day." The Christ Star Sovereign tilted its head, its facets refracting light. "It means your journey is far from over. The spark is but one piece of a greater puzzle. To wield its true power, you must seek the others." Lena exchanged a glance with Zeke. "Others? There are more sparks?" The Sovereign nodded. 7 in total, scattered across the galaxy. Each holds a unique essence, capable of reshaping reality itself. Rex threw up his hands. "Fantastic. Now we're on a cosmic scavenger hunt. Can't we just get a break?" The Sovereign's gaze fixed on Zeke. "You have proven yourself a worthy bearer. But beware, the path ahead is fraught with peril. Others will seek the sparks for their own ends. Your strength, humor, and ingenuity will be tested." Zeke swallowed hard. "Why me? I'm just an engineer. I didn't ask for this." "Destiny rarely asks," the Sovereign replied. "It simply chooses." The figure dissolved into light, leaving the crew in stunned silence. "Well," Navi said, breaking the tension. "Looks like our vacation just got cancelled." Lena sighed, her hands on her hips. "Guess we're not going home anytime soon." Zeke stared out at the crystalline planet below, a mix of fear and determination in his eyes. "If this is what we have to do, then I guess we'd better get started." Rex clapped him on the back. "That's the spirit! And hey, at least this time we know what we're up against." "Sort of." The ship's engines roared to life as they prepared to descend to the planet. The journey ahead was uncertain, but one thing was clear: they were in for an adventure unlike any they'd ever imagined.